Welcome to the Social Good Conferences. These are conversations for social good. Today we're going to be talking about safety and security. Safety and security is something that is critical for everybody in the world. And when we think about, the impacts of trauma and all the different experiences that people can have in life, the one thing that we learn is that everybody can suffer. So it's important to learn various types of techniques from experts and professionals about the best ways to approach unexpected events. And so I'm so excited today to have our current speaker, Dr. Denyse Turner. She is just a phenomenal public speaker. I got to hear her in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. She really just motivated me and moved me with her words. And so I wanted to have her on the Social Good Conferences. She is just really a passionate individual that's focused on how to help others. So, Dr. Denyse, welcome to the Social Good Conferences. Can you introduce us a little bit more in the audience about who you are and your passion?
Kristen, let me just say first, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this. And I remember in Las Vegas when we first met, we had a conversation about how difficult it was for you to get from where you live to Las Vegas. My heart went out to you. And that's just the kind of person I am. And so I have been through a lot of different traumatic experiences, and that is what fuels my motivation and my passion. I am a certified trauma specialist. And after I had gone through certain experiences in life, I sought the certification because I know that I wanted to help other people who were in life sensitive situations like I had been. And so that is what I do. It is definitely a motivating thing for me because what I really like is helping people. And I like to see the transformation that comes about from somebody who comes in who's, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to move forward. To see them to become this butterfly of a person, to move forward in life and to help impact somebody else's life. That is what I love to do. People can get in contact with me on all social media platforms. I am there. I also have a Calendly link that you will have. Get on my calendar because it costs nothing to have a conversation. Let's talk about some of the emotions that you feel. Let's talk about how you feel that you're unproductive in life. You got a free 30-minute session, or you can also email me.
Let's talk about why do you work? Why do you work is such an important topic for people.
I work because I know that a lot of people are suffering. Social good to me means something that benefits the majority or a large number of people. And what is it that benefits people if most of us are walking around suffering from our own emotions? What we do is we transfer those emotions to somebody else. And what does that do for you? What does that do for the other person? And so I want to work with this to help people to realize that they can be better. They can heal through situations. They don't have to transfer negative reactions and emotions to other people. And so that is why I work. I want to be able to see the butterfly come from people, see them turn into those butterflies, and see them be able to interact on a productive level with other people.
You have all these years of experience. What would you say your top lessons are, kind of starting with lesson one?
I think that a lot of people struggle with residual effects. They've been through traumatic experiences. They now have these emotions that keep them stuck in life. And my biggest lesson from that is learning how to dig deep into a person to figure out where the roots of that trauma is. Because a lot of times we don't know what has impacted us, and especially if we've been through, let's say, childhood trauma. We don't really recognize that because a child doesn't have the capacity to process trauma. And so I dig deep into a person's life and I find out where trauma can be rooted. And that is how I work through it. When we struggle with anger, anxiety, depression, those are coming from some place. I like to find out where they're coming from. So that's lesson number one. Lesson number two, your success in life can be impacted by those emotions. Sometimes we feel like I can't do anything. I feel stuck. I don't know how to move forward. And that is not a productive life. It's not healthy emotionally. And so learning what those triggers are, learning what the roots are, that lesson has taught me how I need to address. A lot of times we don't address those issues. We just say, well, I'm just that type of person. We don't have to be that type of person. And so I want to understand, and I want people to understand that we really have to be successful in life. We are here to help other people. How can we help somebody else if we are struggling emotionally? Number three, sometimes we even deny having those emotions. Oh, we try to repress it. We try to suppress it. And we say, well, nothing is wrong. I'm okay. We know we've been through a traumatic experience, but we say, well, if I don't address it, it doesn't exist. Not true at all. Because what I've learned is the body will remember what your mind chooses to forget. And so, even if you repress those emotions, they are going to explode and erupt one day, and then you'll end up bleeding on other people who don't deserve it. And that was a lesson that I had to learn, and it was a hard lesson to learn because I knew and I figured out I'm hurting other people because I'm hurting. And we can't do that.
This is the point of the social good conferences, is being able to share examples, right? And Dr. Denyse, what an example. So when we look at, the case study, right, you think about all this great work that you've done. What would you use as an example to illustrate some of your lessons?
I was married for 38 years, and the life that I lived, when my husband died, excuse my French, but my life went to hell. And that was when I became homeless. I lost everything in life. Then I reconnected with a high school sweetheart, went through 14 months of physical, emotional, verbal abuse. And then I went to jail. And so I say today, I'm Denyse 2.0. I think I've always been a nice person, a person who sympathizes with other people. But now I have empathy. My empathy is on 100 because I recognize that people go through things. If they haven't already gone through it, they're going through it now, or they will go through something. And everything that we go through impacts us some kind of way. And so that is who I am. I'm Denyse 2.0. I'm a different Denyse than I was even 10 years ago.
Great story. So, with all these life experiences and other things that are happening, for you, what would you call our audience to action?
One thing that I've learned is, and there are so many different situations where I can help people in a church as we sit beside people all the time and we struggle with our own emotions, we're transferring it to somebody else. Then I started talking to organizations, companies, small businesses. Same thing. We're all people. And so if we work or stand beside anybody any length of time, and we struggle with our own emotions, we're going to transfer that to somebody else. And so I would like to have a conversation because it doesn't matter what arena you're in, whether you're in a church situation, a small business, organization, nonprofit. If we work with other people in nonprofits, we don't want to transfer that to somebody who's already damaged. And so it makes sense to just sort of have the conversation.
Thank you so much for joining us as an official speaker for Social Good, Dr. Denyse Turner. It's just been phenomenal to hear your voice and listen to what you've been through, your experiences. This is super important for the Social Good conferences because we seek examples of people that have lived very unique experiences, but also have lived to talk about the ways that they made it through. And thank you for doing that and sharing some of your top lessons with us. Particularly when we look at safety and security, it's just such a big topic, right? And that's why I have a conference around that, because no matter who it is, no matter what, everybody needs to feel safe and secure. It's an important thing, right, for our nervous systems, for our lives, and it's something, in my opinion, we should all aspire to. So thank you again, Dr. Denyse Turner, for being a speaker, and particularly for safety and security.
Thank you.
Thank you for attending the Social Good conferences. These have been Conversations for Social Good. They've been presented by Tomasito Media and Buddytown Consulting.